Welcome back. Mayor Adams back from Las Vegas, where he unveiled his plans for Bitcoin investments for the city as a member of his security detail is placed on leave because of possible ties to the crypto millionaire torture case.
The mayor joins us now live with the very latest in all of this. Mayor, thanks for being with us.
Only in New York. That's all I can say. And we want to be clear. This case will be investigated, but it has nothing to do with our summit, nothing to do with our trip.
Sure. But let's start with the developments that we were just talking about, this investigation into the crypto torture case. We've just reported that two of the detectives, one of them on your security detail under investigation for possible ties to the two suspects. So what can you tell us about that?
I can't. I have no information on it. It's being investigated, and we'll find out exactly what happened. I have security personnel, and we don't know what they do in their private lives. It has nothing to do with their professional capacity to make sure that I'm safe while I move around the city.
Did the detective get approval to work private security elsewhere? Because some of the detectives can do that, but it does require approval, especially if they're on your private details. So did you approve them to do this?
Intel handles my security and the inspector. I do not determine their overtime, their approval, what they do after work. They're just there to provide security for me, and they should do that to the best of their ability. Anything other than that, it goes through the proper procedures.
Well, so let me ask you this. Does it cast these allegations, do they cast a dark shadow over what you're trying to do with the crypto business and trying to get that into New York City, make it a more friendly environment for trading in these digital currencies?
You know, and I like that. That's a great question, because I often hear that, you know, the volatility of crypto. I hear that some people have used crypto for fraud. What about the volatility of stocks? What about the fraud that's used on credit cards? Let's be clear. Anyone who have ill intentions could misuse any type of revenue source. This is a great product. 50 million Americans have cryptocurrency, Bitcoins. When you look at, we ran this industry out of our city when the former governor put in place the big licenses. We need this industry back in our city. It's a multi-trillion-dollar industry, and I want jobs here.
Sure, we understand that, but also, I guess you're talking to average voters who saw that you spent over $11,000 in taxpayer-funded money to attend this cryptocurrency summit in Vegas. What do you tell the average voter right now that's struggling to make rent, struggling to buy groceries, that this was worth the money spending to go there?
You know, no matter when I leave the city, we hear that same story. My job is to bring jobs into this city. We have more jobs in this city in the history of New York. We broke the record 7 times. When I travel, I'm required to have a detail with me to make sure that as the mayor, that comes with the job of being the mayor. And any dollars we spend, it is for a good investment of our city. Multi-trillion-dollar industry I'm trying to attract back to our city. That's a win for everyday working class voters.
Mayor Adams, let me ask you this. So Bitcoin is volatile because also there is the fact that there's no regulations in this. But given that, and yes, you can explore this new digital currency, that's all well and okay. But given that, what do you say to taxpayers? What are your plans to safeguard public funds that might be invested through this new plan that you want to do, these BIT bonds?
Well, and that's what we need to do. But again, I want to go back to you. You don't think stocks are volatile? When we take
they are volatile, but they're also regulated. I mean, this is a lot of people would think that crypto is like the Wild West, not much regulation, if any at all. And so I think people are trying to wrap their minds around that. So how do you make this, how do you sell this idea to potential investors?
Well, that's what you do, and investors are always already there. You must put in regulations. No one is saying that you don't put in regulations. You do that. But let's not be fearful about the evolution of paying for goods and services. The first item we used for trade was seashells.
Mm-hmm.
We went from that to coins, to paper dollars, now credit cards.
Yeah, Mayor,
Okay,
we
now
totally we totally understand that, and I think a lot of people are with you, knowing that this is the future of how we're going to trade and manage currency. So we totally understand that, and you are hopefully going to be at the forefront of that in a very responsible way. I do want to pivot though, because it's interesting to see that you're running for mayor as an independent, but the polling only shows that 16% of New York City voters identify that way. So tell us about the strategy here, because obviously you need a majority of votes to get over this hump to win. So what does this look like for you?
Well, let's remember that I said it over and over again. I said it 6 or 7 months ago that this is going to be many twists and turns in this election, and we're seeing just that. And the election is in November after the primary. We're going to see who I will be facing in November. I'm still a Democrat, but the rules allow you to run on your own line, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'm excited about getting back out there. I know how to campaign. No one that's running has ever won the mayor's race but Eric Adams.
All right. I think we've got a little bit less time left. Another important question for you. We've got a big basketball game at the Garden tonight. What do you think, Knicks in 7?
I already know the answer to this. I think we know what you're going to say.
Looking forward to it. I'm excited about it, and they have brought a great deal of excitement. Don't count them out. How many games have they been 20 points behind? And they've returned, and so I'm looking for Knicks in 7. We're excited. Let's go Nick.
All right, Mayor, if they do win, you're coming back in studio to chat with us for a little bit longer.
You promise?
That is a promise.
All right, there you have it. Mayor Adams, thank you very much.
Thank you. Take care.